Okay, well, welcome everybody to tonight's conference lesson. My name is Alistair. I am your conference teacher for today's presentation. And here it is. We can see it on the screen in front of us. It is expressions of surprise and amazement. So the objective here is to learn how to react and respond naturally in conversations. There are 4 parts to the conference today. Number 1, showing genuine surprise. Number 2, expressing positive amazement. Number 3, responding politely to someone else's surprise. And number 4, showing disbelief or shock, soft and strong forms. Okay, well, our introduction for today, we will explore how to express surprise and amazement naturally in English conversations. These reactions are part of everyday communication. They show emotion, personality, and connection. Let's have a look at part 1, showing genuine surprise. Showing genuine surprise. Well, we've got some vocabulary to start with. We've got some English language expressions for surprise. Here they are. I'll read through each of them twice. Have a listen. Really? Really? No way. No way. You're kidding. You're kidding. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Seriously? Seriously? You must be joking. You must be joking. So we've got some nice expressions there for surprise. So let's think about British English. Okay, showing surprise. In British English, so showing surprise is often done with tone and politeness. People express amazement, but usually in a controlled or reserved way. It's not about how loudly you speak. It's about sounding genuinely interested and natural. Okay, so there are 3 parts there to showing surprise in British English. So this does compare to English language in the USA. For example, number 1, in the UK, people tend to show surprise politely and moderately. For example, really? That's unexpected. Really? That's unexpected. However, in the USA, people often exaggerate excitement. Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh my God, that's crazy. So number 3, culturally, Americans show enthusiasm openly, while British prefer a subtler style. So we've got a scenario here, reacting to news. Your friend says, I just won a free trip to Japan. Well, we've got 3 levels of surprise to discover. Mild surprise, medium surprise, and strong surprise. So let's go back to the comment. I just won a free trip to Japan. Mild surprise. Oh, really? That's nice. Medium surprise. No way, that's incredible. Strong surprise. You're kidding. You won a trip. That's unbelievable. So we can think about mild surprise, medium surprise, and strong surprise to vary our tone and our language. We've got 2 tips for showing genuine surprise. Number 1, use intonation and facial expression. Your voice should rise slightly at the end of the sentence. Use intonation and facial expression. Your voice should rise slightly at the end of the sentence. Number 2, avoid repeating the same phrase. Vary your reactions to sound more natural. Very good. Number 2, avoid repeating the same phrase. Vary your reactions. Mix it up to sound more natural. Well, let's move on to part 2, which is expressing positive amazement. So we have some more English expressions. On the right, we can see the French equivalents to those expressions. Have a listen. I'll read through each English expression twice. That's amazing. That's amazing. How wonderful. How wonderful. That's incredible. That's incredible. Wow, that's great. Wow, that's great. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay, great expressions. So let's continue comparing Britain and the USA, expressing positive amazement. Number 1, in both countries, these expressions show admiration and joy. Number 2, however, British speakers often sound calmer. That's wonderful. Americans usually sound more expressive. That's awesome. That's amazing. Okay, so there are differences between British and US expressions of positive amazement. We have a top tip for you related to expression. Number 1, be careful with your facial expressions and tone. Number 2, in English, energy and emotion make your reaction sound friendly and sincere. Number 3, too little expression can sound cold, and too much can sound fake. So too little expression can sound cold. For example, that's amazing. Sounds a bit cold. But too much can also sound fake. For example, that's amazing. This might sound a bit too fake. So think about a balance when expressing amazement. Okay, let's continue. We have a scenario related to exam results. Let's think about the situation. Your classmate says, I passed my C1 English exam. You're happy and impressed by their success. But what do you say? Now you react to show your amazement and support. So your classmate says, I passed my C1 English exam. You're happy and you're impressed. Mute that microphone. Thank you. Okay, welcome to the lesson. So I'm going to continue. We've got some possible responses, some possible enthusiastic, supportive and amazed responses to the news. I passed my C1 English exam. Here we go. Number 1. That's amazing. Congratulations. Wow, that's great news. You worked hard for it. How wonderful. You really deserved it. That's incredible. I'm so proud of you. So we've got some possible responses there to that exam result scenario. Well, moving on to part 3, responding politely to someone else's surprise. So responding politely to someone else's surprise. So let's have a look. We've got some English expressions. On the right, we have some French translations related to those expressions. So have a little listen. I'm going to read each of the English expressions twice. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. I know, it's surprising. I know, it's surprising. I didn't expect it either. I didn't expect it either. Crazy, right? Crazy, right? I couldn't believe it myself. I couldn't believe it myself. It was quite a shock. It was quite a shock. So those are reactions to other people's surprise. Well, let's return to our cultural theme related to today's lesson. And we've got a cultural tip here related to British understatement. And this is true. Okay. Now, British people often react with understatement, soft, modest expressions that avoid exaggeration. Now, we've got some really good examples here. We've got the understated version and then a more genuine face value representation. Let's have a look at these examples. So, number one, yes, it was quite unexpected. Well, this really means I was very surprised. Number two, it was rather nice. It means it was amazing. This is true. This is very much what British people do. Number three, I was a bit shocked. Well, this means I was completely shocked. And number four, a very classic expression, not bad at all, means it was excellent. Number five, quite impressive really, means that's fantastic. Okay, so for example, when we meet with a British person and we say, oh, how are you today? They often say things like, not bad. What they actually mean is they're doing well. So this is a reality, British understatement. And these are quite good examples to show that understatement. Okay. British people often react with understatement. Okay, we've confirmed that. But why do people do that from Britain? Why do British people do that? Number one, British culture values modesty and emotional control. Okay, this is true, especially in public. Number two, it's polite to sound calm rather than overly dramatic. And again, this is a cultural thing in Britain. So British culture values modesty and emotional control. Check. Number two, it's polite to sound calm rather than overly dramatic. True. Check. Well, we do have a top tip for you related to this. Show agreement or modesty. Don't make the situation about yourself. Okay, good tip. Number two, respond with kindness, especially in professional settings. Well, let's have a look at another scenario related to our lesson today. Now, the scenario is talking to friends. Okay, so your friend says, I heard you got a new job in London. They sound amazed and curious. You want to respond naturally, politely, and modestly. So let's recap that situation, the scenario. I heard you got a new job in London. Let's check out the example responses. Number one, yes, it's true. I'm really excited about it. Number two, I know, it's surprising. It happened so fast. Number three, crazy, right? I didn't expect it either. Okay, So those example responses one more time. Number 1, yes, it's true. I'm really excited about it. Number 2, I know, it's surprising. It happened so fast. Number 3, crazy, right? I didn't expect it either. Okay, guys, well, we're going to move on to our fourth and final part of our conference lesson for today. Number 4, showing disbelief or shock, both in a soft form and in a strong form as well. Let's have a look at the content. Well, we're going to start with some key phrases for soft disbelief. Soft disbelief. So on the left, our English expressions. On the right, the French equivalents. So I'm going to read through each of the English expressions twice. Here we go. Are you sure? Are you sure? Really? Really? I find that hard to believe. I find that hard to believe. That's surprising. That's surprising. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. Seriously? Seriously? So these are expressions that help us to express soft disbelief. So let's have a look at a scenario related to soft disbelief. Your colleague says, our manager is leaving the company next week. You're surprised, but want to stay polite and calm. You show disbelief softly, not too emotionally. So once again, the sentence, our manager is leaving the company next week. Really? I had no idea. Number 2, are you sure? That's surprising. Number 3, I find that hard to believe. She's been here for years. So these are examples of how to show soft disbelief to some news that you hear. Really? I had no idea. Are you sure? That's surprising. I find that hard to believe. She's been here for years. Okay, well, let's have a look at the next part, which is strong disbelief. So again, we have some key phrases on the left and their French equivalents on the right. I'll read through each of the English expressions twice. Here we go. No way. No way. You must be joking. You must be joking. That's impossible. That's impossible. You're kidding. You're kidding. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Okay. Let's have a look at a scenario for strong disbelief. Okay, let's have a look at the context sentence. Your friend says, guess what? I just met Taylor Swift at the airport. You're completely shocked and excited, but you react with strong disbelief and enthusiasm. Once again, the context sentence, guess what? I just met Taylor Swift at the airport. No way! You met Taylor Swift? Number 2, you must be joking. That's incredible. And number 3, that's impossible. How did that happen? All strong examples or examples of strong disbelief to that context sentence. Okay. So we need to think about intensity of our reaction, choosing intensity. And in brackets, I have informal versus formal. Okay. So your reaction depends on where you are and who you're speaking to. In informal settings, such as friends or family, stronger reactions sound natural. In more formal settings, such as work and in meetings, softer disbelief sounds more professional. Okay, so this is a very good guide to help you choose intensity. Strong intensity in informal settings with friends and family, and a more soft reaction in formal settings, perhaps during meetings or at work. Okay, let's continue. So we've got some comparisons here. We've got two columns: informal setting expressions and formal setting expressions, with some comparative sentences. So let's have a look at informal and then formal. So, no way versus that's surprising. You must be joking versus I find that hard to believe. You're kidding me. I didn't expect that. That's impossible. That's quite unexpected. Seriously? Really? That's unexpected. So these are some nice comparisons to help you choose intensity, the intensity of your reaction and your expression. Okay, guys, well, we are coming towards the end of our conference presentation for this evening. I'm going to read out our conclusion before we do finish, so have a listen. Here we go. So, in conclusion, showing interest and encouraging conversations will always be indicators of appreciation and acceptance. However, remember to find a balance between excess and lack of expression. Once you find the formula, the right balance, your interactions will become more natural. Please keep in mind the tips seen during the presentation and make every conversation a great moment to enjoy. Well, there we are, everybody. It just remains for me to thank you all on behalf of everyone there at Cercle de Langue and on my behalf as well. Thank you ever so much for your attendance in this evening's conference lesson. I will be back here next Monday. I do hope you will be able to join me then, but it is